Life is hard because death is easy.
Words just can't explain how I feel, but it's always hard to go to a cemetery and stand over your child's grave. Events of that day still loom every day in my mind. And could things have been done differently? The what ifs and just the endless possibilities. But it's just difficult. It's hard.
"7 years ago, my sister Rashonda was killed in a car accident. My dad took it hard because he felt as if it was his fault.
The Poetry Out Loud, this was a state competition, and then it went on to a national competition. Rashonda was the first recipient of the award from Arkansas. She actually won this in 2006, went on to represent the state of Arkansas in Washington, D.C. She loved to compete. She competed in the Miss Hall High pageant each year. Of course, this was the first award that she won in terms of competition. I think she was about 18 months old. We were attending a little church in Lone Oak, and she competed in the cutest baby contest, and so she won first place. So again, I gauged that as success, but she told me on numerous occasions that it's not about being first. It's not about being number one. Success is not determined by being first or number one. It's how you change people's lives, and that's how she saw success. On February 6, 2007, Rashonda called me at 5:20 saying her car had stalled. And so I said, well, if you put the car in neutral, it will roll forward. And I called back 6 minutes later, and somebody answered the phone, said that she had been hit. They were loading Rashonda into the ambulance, and she was crying and saying she was hurt, and I told her she was going to be okay, and I just kept telling her she was going to be okay. And a tear was rolling down her cheek. And that was my last time seeing her alive and remembering the tear that was running down her face. She was valedictorian of her class, had a 4.33 grade point average, and it's just hard. So anyway.
Here's my family story. When I was 9, my sister Rashonda died in a car accident. When I was 14, my cousin also died in a car accident. Now my little sister is fighting multiple tumors. Some people wonder why my family has faced many hardships and death, but we don't see it that way, especially my mother, who always stays positive.
How was your day?
Good.
It was good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what'd you do today?
I hung out with Miss Katie at the
Okay.
first when I didn't have nobody,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to go to Miss Jamie.
And now it's time to do a little homework, okay? Now, what's the next page?
It made me fold all these pages up.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and that's just to let you know what you had to do. You want to try G?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try to do a G. What's the last word?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you ever get scared about losing another daughter?
I learned that you can't live in fear. You just have to take things one day at a time. And with her, I don't want her to see that I'm fearful in any way. If I consume myself with grief or with woes, it doesn't do any good for me. It doesn't do any good for my family. Certainly doesn't do any good for Lyric. Me being positive, I feel a lot is what has kept her going a lot of the time. This one day in particular, she looked at me and she said, "I love you, Mama. I really am thankful for you." And I asked her, "Why was that?" And she told me, she said, "Because you believe in me. Because you believe in me and because you're here for me." So there is no other way. I have to be positive for her first and foremost and for me. You ready to eat, Lyric?
Dealing with death may be hard for many, but as the chief coroner of Pulaski County, my uncle deals with death every day.
What are you getting off the printer?
Medical records from a case that we had overnight. We always request medical records of the deceased personnel that we get from hospice or any type of hospital. We always get the records. I got a gift from my wife. It said, "I will lift up my eyes into the hills from which cometh my help," which the Psalm is 121, meaning that if I look my eyes up towards heaven, I know Jesus will give me the strength to carry on. My son, 18-year-old Xavier Hobbs, was involved in a motor vehicle accident on October the 26th, 2012. That day changed my life forever. I think about him every day. I can remember it like it was yesterday, like it was today. We got a call from Arkansas State Police Dispatch stating that there is an accident. And when I arrived on scene, I seen his car, and I knew then it was my son. Yeah. I had to make some phone calls to his mother and his stepmother and my mother, because he was leaving his grandmother's house to go in to pick up one of his cousins. So, and then, those phone calls was devastating.
Does doing this job get difficult or depressing sometimes?
Difficult, yes. When you have to face death every day like we do, it can be difficult. You have to separate your job from your personal life. I'm human. I miss my son dearly. But my job, I stand strong in my job. I love my job. I love helping people. So,
I decided to visit Xavier's crash site for the first time with my uncle.
So when was the last time you came to the site?
it was Sunday before last. Normally I pass this either every Saturday or every Sunday. I normally stop to look at the crash site or just pass it by. But this is actually where he was entering the curve. At this moment here is where he lost control. Cousins came and just signed the tree, but I know I can still see a little bit here. But when it first happened, it was the way the tree was skinned. It was a big cross right there. Just it was in there. Nobody know who done it. I thought, well, could nobody marked it because the accident was they just had rolled a car up off of the tree, and you can see perfect cross.
If you could change one thing, what would it be?
If I can change one thing, what will it be? That day will never happen. How do you feel? How do you really feel about losing a sister? Then not only that, then you lost your cousin. You know.
Well, with me, like, I look at it like I value life, so I look at their success in life. I don't look to grieve, you know. So when I look at me losing a sister and a cousin, I say they both graduated high school, both got accepted to college. You know, they were doing good things. So you're supposed to celebrate, not grieve, and that's how I do it.
When we lost Xavier, immediately I could have gave up. But I didn't. I want to help someone after this. If I can get someone to understand about driving, to help them, especially teenagers, then I need to share to share my story.
When the day is over and the sun has set, everything that has happened is set in stone. My dad started preaching on the weekends. My uncle continues to deal with death, and he loves what he does. And my mom, she is still the queen of keeping it positive.
We gotta try to get up the stage right here. Hey, Lyra, how are you doing? You remember when you met with us? What did you tell us you wanted to do?
Meet Justin Timberlake.
Yeah? Meet Justin Timberlake? Well, guess what?
What?
You get to go meet Justin Timberlake.
Where?
You get to go fly to meet him in concert. Look, everybody's here. Yay! Say hi to them. Congratulations. You know, she's come a long way from when she was in PICU, and she was in a medically induced coma to keep her obviously still, and she had medication around the clock, different pain meds and steroids and things like that. And now to see her up and her memory is improving and she's able to move around, I mean, it's just really a great thing for our family. So she is deserving of whatever she wishes. I'm happy for you. Are you happy? Mm-hmm. You happy? Mm-hmm. Okay.
1, 2, 3, say cheese.